Welcome to another live show edition of the Knicks Nation podcast. This is another live edition. This is episode 17. We are back. We haven't been on here in a few weeks, Chris. It's been a while since we've been talking about the New York Knicks, but it's summertime. Nothing really going on until the Josh Hart contract situation, which we'll get into in a bit. But first, this is my co-host, Chris. Chris, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Ant? Not much here. Like you said, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on here. The news has been a little bit slow. NBA season kind of slowed down a bit, but happy to be back on here. Hopefully, for a good minute talking Knicks, talking possible things down the line for the Knicks. I'm excited. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. Summer's treating me well. Let me just tweet that we're live right now on the main account so everyone can just hop in really quick. Summer's been treating me well. Obviously, we were on here a few weeks ago talking about the Quickley extension, the DiVincenzo signing, and we were, talking about a possible Evan Fournier trade, which hasn't happened yet, but that is to be determined whether or not that will happen at all. Evan Fournier right now is playing for France, right?
Yep, he's out there. Is he killing it? I'm not sure. I haven't checked.
I think I saw a few plays with him. He made some crazy behind the back play, which was he passed the ball behind the back and then it led to a dunk for France. And I was like, oh, Evan Fournier, nice to see you. But we've seen,
Where was that?
On the bench. That's where that was. We've seen Jalen Brunson now. RJ Barrett has played and Evan Fournier. So, we'll get into all of that stuff later. But the big news obviously has been the signing extension of Josh Hart. Josh Hart, man, ever since the New York Knicks acquired him back in February at the trading deadline, he's been nothing short of amazing for us. Our record with him has been incredible. And, when I saw this contract extension from the New York Knicks, at first I was like, wow, Josh Hart, it's a lot of money for Josh Hart, But, Chris, what if I told you his contract was only 3 years, $58 million, technically?
That sounds a lot better than what was reported, but I'm on the same boat with you. At first, I was like, wow, that's kind of a lot of money, but you got to look at the big picture. Everything that kind of occurred before all of that.
Yeah, and his contract, Chris, is actually 3 years and $58 million. Let me explain to you. So he picked up his extension, which is $12.5 million. So we have him for $12.5 million for one more year. And he technically signed a 4-year extension, but in that fourth year, Chris, there's a team option. So there's 3 years guaranteed for $58 million, and then that fourth year, you have that team option. Credit to Leon Rose and the Knicks front office for getting that done. But yeah, man, ever since Hart was acquired, man, it's just been awesome. He was awesome in the playoffs, awesome versus the Cavs, awesome versus the Heat. And he's just been, what we were missing. And a lot of people want to talk about the contract being an overpay, Chris. But, in my opinion, in regards to that, I don't think it's overpay. You have to look at it in terms of the percentage of the salary cap. I believe it's 14% of the salary cap, his contract throughout the tenure of the deal. So, we could talk about Immanuel Quickley shortly too. He's due for a contract and it's looking like he's going to get one. But, I saw a lot of backlash on this contract on Twitter, man. It's like people just don't want to be happy, right? People don't want to be happy.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know how Knicks fans are. It's either extreme positive or extremely negative. It's no in between really. But at first it did sound like a lot of money, but when you think about the full picture and you think about what Josh Hart did for us, everybody's just upset because they're looking at 81 mil. They're looking at he can't shoot the three ball, like he's not a premier guy type of deal. But Josh Hart is that hustle guy. He does the the little things that don't show up on the box score, and more importantly, he impacts winning, and that's exactly what you want from a player. Always impacting winning, even if that's not with the ball in his hands. So I think it's a great signing for the Knicks. They had to lock him up.
They had to, man. And, we signed his Villanova partner in Dante DiVincenzo. And, when Josh Hart picked up his option, I was like, something had to be brewing. Obviously, that was the, thing that was brewing. Dante DiVincenzo signed with the New York Knicks. So, like I said, it was a very interesting summer. It's been a very interesting summer for the New York Knicks, man. Dante DiVincenzo signing, the Obi Toppin trade, the unknown with Evan Fournier, and we still have about a month and a half into training camp. So Evan Fournier could still very well be on the move. So whether or not that trade takes place, back to the overpay, underpay thing. Knicks fans they don't, they don't know how to be happy. And sometimes I fall in that boat. Sometimes I fall into the, we need a star now. We need this now. We need things done now. But sometimes I just feel like Knicks fans, they just want things to pick at. And, all I saw on Twitter was that you're paying essentially 3 or 4 guys. RJ Barrett, $100 million. Now you're going to pay Immanuel Quickley $80 to $100 million. Now you're paying Josh Hart closer upwards of $94 million. Dante DiVincenzo $50 million, on and on and on, to be a mid-team and get knocked out in the second round. Chris, it's more than that, right? I mean, it's more than that.
Yeah. I mean, as the seasons go on, I think these are all really smart contracts by the Knicks. I mean, we're not really like outside of RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and eventually Jalen Brunson. I mean, those are the guys making the bulk of the money, right? I think, these contracts, the way that they're set up, I mean, you got to give credit to the front office. Once somebody becomes available, and by somebody I mean like a star type player, these are contracts that we're going to be able to move. I don't think they're going to be terrible contracts in a year or two from now. These are definitely, like, you can almost say team friendly deals. When you consider, an OG Anunoby is getting projected to get, 30 mil, apparently, as was rumored.
That's the projection. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a player that, I mean, I know he's a nice defender. I know he's up and coming offensively, whatever, but he hasn't really proven much, And, we saw some crazy signings too. Some crazy money was going around. And I think if you overall look at the bigger picture with the Knicks, they did a smart job with their signings.
What's the mistake? What's the mistake they made this summer? If you were to point out a mistake that the New York Knicks made this summer, what did you want them? What would you have liked them to do this summer, if anything?
Oh, man.
They kind of played it safe, and they've been kind of playing it safe for a couple of years now, and it's been working. You can't really argue against it. It's not like the Yankees, who have been stubborn and just trying the same thing over and over again. I hate to use a baseball reference, but I'm just trying to compare the two. The Knicks we needed shooting. We got Dante, got rid of Obi. I mean, that sucked. But what do you think they could have did differently? Would it be Bradley Beal? Would it be Kristaps? You think they would have took a shot in the dark with a Kristaps? His knee's barking right now, Kristaps Porzingis. That's the latest intel on that.
Oh, wow. Already, huh? I wanted Kristaps. I wanted KP back on the Knicks. I felt like, I think I even said it on a pod that, what better than a motivated KP to kind of, right his wrongs from the past, I still think that was a great signing for the Celtics. Unfortunately, he's on the Celtics. But as far as the Knicks, I don't really feel like they did anything. I guess if I had to choose one thing that I did want them to address was maybe get a length, a little bit taller, just more length, because that's the only thing that probably bothers me, is that we're a small team outside of like Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, as far as RJ, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Grimes, they're all kind of undersized guys, and it's like, eventually that gets to you, especially when it comes playoff time, That's one thing I wish they kind of did sign somebody who's can provide more length, like a Rudy Gay or somebody in that mold. But
True.
other than that, I think the Knicks did a good job.
True. We do need another wing essentially, but it was either pick your poison, man. It was either the rumors were Dante DiVincenzo from the moment free agency started
Yeah,
to
from the get-go.
the bell of free agency. We knew Dante DiVincenzo was going to be a New York Knick. Turns out he is a Knick, right? But I agree, man. I feel like we could have got another lengthy big, but essentially, I mean, I could argue that the way the NBA is, even the way the Knicks played the Miami Heat, even with Obi Toppin playing 10, 12 minutes a game, they're pretty much playing small ball. So I just feel like the Knicks are going to try to beat teams with their small ball lineups, and on defense, they're just you're gonna have scrappy guys out there already. You're gonna have Mitchell Robinson maybe mixed in with the bench unit. DiVincenzo's a good defender. Quickley's a good defender, and you have Josh Hart will probably be in there. So they're just gonna mix and match. But in terms of this Josh Hart contract, I just feel like they had to get it done, and it was going to get done. So now, Chris, you essentially have Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Dante DiVincenzo locked up for 3+ years. It's clear that what the New York Knicks are trying to do is build around Jalen Brunson. They're trying to make him comfortable, right? They're bringing in guys that he knows, he understands, he's comfortable with. We've yet to see that with, a Julius Randle or an RJ Barrett, guys that are comfortable playing with them, if there are any guys out there in the NBA. But, we see what clearly the New York Knicks are doing, and that's building around Jalen Brunson. And it's what they should be doing, honestly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, after this past season, after the show that Jalen Brunson put on, he made it known that this is my team. I'm the guy. This is the guy you want to build around, especially with the contract that he's on. You got to take advantage of that contract.
Yep.
And yeah, it's Jalen Brunson's team. So I think what the Knicks are doing is smart, and we got to remember, it's easy to get overhyped now and want the superstars and all that. But I think more importantly for the Knicks, this is ultimately what we wanted. Sustained success, right? Not just putting all our chips on the board, going after any superstar, whether they fit or not. I think the Knicks are playing their cards the right way. They're being smart, and they're just, eventually, yes, you do have to put your chips on the table and go after that star. But I think it's smart that the Knicks are trying to find the right one.
They are. Rumors are swirling around Embiid, maybe Giannis. I mean, we'll cross that road when we get there. But, some guy on Twitter, it just pissed me off. He was like, bringing up the mid talk again. He was like, you're really paying all these guys. I saw a tweet that said the New York Knicks don't have a max contract on their roster. Should be Jalen Brunson. Brunson needs to make an all-star team before garnishing respect around the league. But he's already got our respect. But around the league, he's just getting disrespected too much. So, the Knicks don't have a max contract on the roster simply because, one, we haven't drafted one. Two, we just haven't found that guy yet. And we're not just going to pay someone the max contract just to pay him the max contract. I mean, this is the system on, how to go about building a team. I mean, you sustain your draft picks, you draft well in the 20s, what the Knicks have done, Grimes, Quickley, Mitchell Robinson, and then you extend them. And it's looking like you extended Mitchell Robinson, you extended RJ Barrett, and now you're about to extend Immanuel Quickley. So Josh Hart, congratulations on getting the contract he deserves. It's going to be interesting, Chris, whether or not it's going to be interesting how Tom Thibodeau figures out this minute rotation. I mean, we've been talking about it ever since Dante DiVincenzo got signed, and it's still going to be a question mark.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, and especially now, a lot of guys that need to see minutes, right? So how does he balance that? I'm assuming we're going to see some Josh Hart at the 4, but yeah, that's a tough one to even attempt to figure out.
There was a reason why Josh Hart didn't play in the first FIBA game against Puerto Rico, and that's because he wanted to get paid, and boy, did he get paid.
Yeah.
Did you watch that game? You saw Jalen Brunson ball out?
I did. I was happy, holding my breath. Don't want him to get hurt or anything like that. But
What do you what do you
started.
think the Knicks?
He was a little bit off, but
Yeah.
he finished strong.
What do you think the Knicks have in their mind when they're watching Jalen Brunson play? Like, do they think, "Oh my God, please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt"? You
That's
think they're thinking
exactly what it is.
that?
Yep. That's Tibbs. That's Tibbs. That's why he's smiling on the bench every
Yeah,
time Jalen Brunson, you know, goes through a play and doesn't get hurt. That's why he was smiling the entire game. He's like, "Don't get hurt, man. Don't get hurt. We need you." I mean, it's crazy, but God forbid he was to get hurt. That could be our season right there.
yeah. Thibs was there. I think Leon Rose was there as well. But yeah, I think next game is Saturday. But Josh Hart, man, credit to you getting that contract. You are our New York Knick for the next 4 or 5 years. And the thing about the contract, Chris, is there was a little nugget. The reason why Josh Hart extended was because while doing that extension, that essentially made him untradeable this season. Because it's I don't know. Fred Katz tweeted this, and he was saying by Josh Hart extending, he essentially can't be traded because something with the deadlines and signing the extension. So Hart can't be traded, and if you're going to pay Immanuel Quickley, he's going to have that poison pill contract, so he'll unlikely be traded. So it's looking like the star isn't coming till next summer, Chris.
It's possible. I mean, you never know. I mean, I think the Knicks have a plan. I think they gotta have something going on. I mean, this whole Fournier thing. Not to say Fournier is going to be involved in some type of star deal, because to be honest, I can't believe he's still on the roster. But I think there has to be more to come. It's. I just feel like something's not complete here.
You can't put your finger on it.
Yeah, don't ask me what it is, but I just feel like there's something that's not finished as far as the Knicks roster.
A superstar, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be. I mean, that's why people are angry. But I don't, we're building slowly.
I mean, we keep hearing Donovan Mitchell, right? Donovan Mitchell's going to come here, as a free agent.
Yeah, yeah. Come on now. But yeah, I mean, you want to get into Immanuel Quickley and what we know so far about his contract and whether or not he should be being paid $80 to $100 million. Yeah. So Immanuel Quickley, you want to come in and out, Chris?
What's that?
You want to come in and out? Your connection.
Yeah, let me try. Hold on.
All right. All right. Now we wait for Chris. Little better. There we go. Let me just move this over here. All right. So Immanuel Quickley, Ian Begley put out something that he expects an Immanuel Quickley extension, Chris. And, we were talking about this early on in the summer, but, the more I think about what Immanuel Quickley should get, the lesser I think he should get. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't get a bag, because I damn sure want him to get a bag. Like, I love Quickley. We both love IQ, and we both want him to get a bag. But, I don't want to compare him to Austin Reeves, but comparing him to Austin Reeves' contract, he got 4 years, $50 million, and it was just a bargain. That may be an outlier, but Immanuel Quickley, whether or not he holds out until this, if he wants $100 million, Chris, if he wants $90 million, I don't know. But it seems like the Knicks and him are, close to getting it done, and it's probably going to get done before the training camp. That's what Ian Begley suggested. So when it comes out, if it comes out, where do you think the numbers lie? Do you think they go upwards of $100 million? Because I don't know anymore. I really don't know.
Yeah. The only reason I don't think he'll go 100 is simply because of they're gonna be like, hey man, you didn't perform, playoff time. We know you got hurt, but you know, in the games that you did play, you weren't effective. They're gonna use that against him.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get something around, maybe 4 and 85, possibly, maybe something similar to the Josh Hart contract. But that's my thoughts. I mean, I have a feeling it's gonna be somewhere in between that. I don't think it's gonna be like 100 mil.
Steven in the chat says IQ wants 4 years, $100 million. He says 4 for $100 million. Yeah, he's going to want somewhere around there. And I don't know, Chris. I mean, I just feel a little like I want to feel good about, the obviously I love the signing of DiVincenzo. I love the signing of Josh Hart. Obviously, Immanuel Quickley extension is coming. The RJ Barrett extension which just happened last year. That was for $100+ million. So if you sign Quickley to $80 to $100 million, look, he'll be a tradable contract. We were talking about that, early on in the summer. I just feel like something's off about, all these guys, these guards getting all this money. I just feel like there's something missing. Like, I just feel like if that something is a trade coming, is it really, are you paying Immanuel Quickley from his last season statistics technically? So you're gonna tell me you're bringing in a Dante DiVincenzo this year and Immanuel Quickley is going to get better? I don't know. I don't feel like that's the case.
I mean, that's kind of what I've been wrestling with as far as the rotations go, because there's just a lot of overlapping players.
Yeah.
I mean, similar skill sets. They all play differently, yes, but they all overall do a lot of the same, right? So that's kind of where I fall in the same boat, where I'm like, I feel like there's something has to be, left undone, because there's just way too many guards. DiVincenzo is essentially could replace Quickley, right? Same skill set.
Yep.
Better shooter if you want to go by the statistics of last season, and we kind of thought that would be the case if they were to get rid of Immanuel Quickley and possibly keep an Obi Toppin,
Yeah.
But fast forward to now, Obi Toppin is gone. He's a pacer, and Quickley's here. And it's a weird situation to be in, because I feel like out of those two, the Knicks definitely wanted to keep one of them. And I think that obviously is Quickley. But again, bringing in DiVincenzo, re-signing, extending Hart, what's going to come down the pipeline to kind of free up the logjam, because you also got Grimes there. A lot of these guys just interchangeable in shooting guard spots, point guard spot even.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think? Any I don't know.
In regards to what?
Any thoughts on it?
In regards to
Just like, what do you think could possibly happen? Do you think they just throw out a bunch of different, looks at teams?
Yeah, you're going to pay Quickley essentially to be a bench player if he's going to extend for the next 3 to 4 years. He's going to be a bench player. So
Is he?
Where is he going to play? He's not going to start over Grimes. He's too small.
I mean, do you think though? Because I mean, Quickley has played well with Jalen Brunson.
He's not starting over Grimes. He's not starting over Grimes.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, we can get into the Grimes talk later. I think he's going to have a big year as well, but we can debate about DiVincenzo stealing his minutes as well. I brought it up in one of the videos I posted. So it's tricky, I love giving these guys extensions. I really do. I love, Quickley getting his money, Hart getting his money, DiVincenzo $50 million, Hart, a contract that can go up to $94 million. Bench, right? He's not starting.
Yeah.
Quickley, $80 to $100 million. Bench. He's not starting. Brunson, the bargain, obviously after next year he'll be due for an extension. So I just That just feels off to me. Paying all these guys. Look, the salary cap is going to go up. So, I could be talking on my ass right now. And in a few years, that money could be, you know, nothing. But, RJ Barrett, $100+ million. And, that kicks in next season. He didn't even start his extension yet. It kicks in next season. So, I'm all for Immanuel Quickley getting his money. It just, something feels off about, paying these guys to come off the bench,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
it is weird. It is weird. You almost, that's kind of the way that I was trying to justify it. Do they start experimenting with Quickly and Brunson? They say,
Yeah.
okay, Quick, we'll give you 80 mil, we'll give you 100 over 4 years, whatever. Let's see what you got in the starting lineup. But in all reality, like you said, I don't see them benching Grimes for Quickly, especially when Quickly's that, he's that perfect six man off the bench for us. So
Do you bring him
I don't
in
know.
with
It's interesting.
DiVincenzo or a Hart? Do you like?
Yeah.
How do you even navigate that? Like, how do you? I mean, Quickly and Hart have been, solid together, but now you throw DiVincenzo in the mix. So
Yeah.
unless there's a trade coming, which we don't foresee, that involves Quentin Grimes or Immanuel Quickley, training camp's going to be interesting, involving all 3 or 4 of those guys. Because Chris, I can make the argument. I can make the argument to start. We can make the argument to start. You want to go down the shooting guard slot, and we can make the argument that You just made the argument. Quickley could start alongside Jalen Brunson. Quentin Grimes can start alongside Jalen Brunson. Josh Hart can start alongside Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And Dante DiVincenzo could damn sure start alongside Jalen Brunson. And 3 of those guys are going to be coming off the bench. So is it going to be an open competition during the training camp? When training camp opens, is it going to be open competition? I mean, if you had to pick out of those players, who do you want starting?
Personally, I like Grimes starting. I like Grimes starting. I like Quickly off the bench. The only thing that's gonna be different now is for like the first time in a while, we're gonna have at all times, you know, good shooters out there. There's not gonna be a moment where like we're thinking, oh man, gotta get Brunson back in there. I know he only rested a minute. We gotta get him back in ASAP.
Yep.
I mean, now you got a Dante DiVincenzo. You got a guy like Josh Hart playing out of his mind, playing hard defense. Not that he's not a great 3-point shooter, but he can definitely knock down those corner threes.
Yeah.
And then you got a Quickly. You got all these guards, all these interchangeable parts that we don't have to worry as much to buy time for the starters to get back in. We should be able to sustain leads. So in that aspect, I like it, but trying to figure out where the minutes are going to go and who's going to get what, I mean, Josh Hart isn't going to play 35 minutes a game. I would have to think that's going to go down to like 25 or something, especially if you're trying to get everybody a fair shake, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good problem. I think it's a good problem to have.
For sure. It's a good problem to have.
It's hard. It's a hard one to just even figure out, especially when you try to think like Tibbs would, right?
It is. And, I'm just afraid that, having that problem will eat into the development of Quentin Grimes. I could be wrong, but I just feel like you give Grimes 30 minutes in that starting shooting guard slot, and he's going to blossom into a hell of a player, man. 39% from 3 last season, and I feel like he can improve. We saw him working with J.J. Redick this summer, but then I could also make the argument for Dante DiVincenzo. Close to the same thing, 30%, 39% 3-point shooter. He shot 40. I think his best year was last season where he shot 40% with the Golden State Warriors. Has a chemistry with Jalen Brunson already. Played at Villanova, and he's a hell of a defender too, and he's athletic. He's a playmaker. I mean, I feel like I'm talking about the same guy, but I'm mentioning a different name. Grimes, DiVincenzo, and Hart offers less shooting, even though when he was acquired from the Knicks, he shot over what was like over 50% from downtown, which was
Yeah,
unsustainable and
he's
is
on
not going
fire.
to be sustainable. So a lot of people want Josh Hart started. So that brings me back to the Quickly extension. It's like you got I when you have Quickly coming off the bench and you have Jalen Brunson making $100 million, if you have Quickly making close to that, I feel like it's not going to be that. I feel like it's going to be in the 70 range, and I feel like that would be a win for the New York Knicks if it's in the 70 range.
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, if they could pull that off, that's a super team friendly deal, and that's a no brainer right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, who's to say maybe the Knicks are just like, we got Brunson on this deal. Let's resign quickly. He's played well with Brunson. All these guys have good chemistry. Let's
Yeah.
bring them all back. Let's sign them. And who's to say? Maybe a year or two down the line, maybe they go, all right, this didn't work. Quickly, we're gonna use you as a trade chip now. It could be that too. It could be something along those lines. Maybe they're just trying to see how far they can get with what they got.
I feel like a trade would have to be coming because eventually I feel like during the seasons there's going to be a game, and I brought this up, Chris, during my last video, that either there's going to be a game where it's going to be a random November 10th against the Dallas Mavericks, and you look at the box score and you look at other minutes and you sing Quinta Grimes 10 minutes. What happened? And then you're going to see a DiVincenzo 25, Hart 28. That's I'm not saying I'm mad at that because if we win the game, who the hell cares, right? But
Yeah.
it's it's like they want to win and develop at the same time, and I feel like this is a very crucial year for Quentin Grimes in that aspect. And I feel like he will take a big step. But don't you get me? There's going to be a game in December where Grimes 15 minutes for Quentin Grimes. What? DiVincenzo 35 minutes. It's gonna flip flop. And then somebody's not going to be happy all the time. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you I guess I won't say fear, but you're concerned about, right? I mean, you don't want guys to start feeling like, hey, I earned this spot. Why aren't I getting the minutes? Kind of almost like an Obi situation when guys are starting to get trapped behind other guys, can't get out. If one guy is hot,
Yeah,
Tibbs is the type to play that guy, you know, until he goes cold as cold can be. But I think Grimes will be all right, man. I think he has a bright future. He's definitely, he's on his rookie deal. I don't think they're too worried about it. And that guy he's a worker, man. So, whether he's getting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I think he's going to give it his all. What I would like to see though is obviously when he's out there, they get him involved, run some plays for this man, like you were saying, some screens, have him coming off screens, things like that.
yeah,
I think that would unlock another dimension for us if they can get something going like that with Grimes.
for sure. So that's that in terms of those 3 or 4 guys. Immanuel Quickley is looking like he's going to get his contract extension, and we just have to wait for the details to come out. Ian Begley pretty much said that it's going to happen. So Josh Hart got his. We just have to wait to see what Quickley gets his. And like Chris said, we can always trade Quickley down the road. I'm just worried about paying Quickley, and then obviously his usage will take a step back with the DiVincenzo added to the mix, and now you have a Josh Hart for the full season, and obviously you have Jalen Brunson back there. But if the Knicks play small, it's pretty much that puts a damper on this whole conversation that we just had. If they play small, if they have Josh Hart at the 4, if they pair him with DiVincenzo and Quickly and Grimes, and they mix and match like that, it'll be interesting to see, to say the least, man. And training camp is next month.
Oh man, time is flying, right?
I know, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's hit some of these comments. Only got a few comments tonight. Mel Bester says, I'm just glad we got Mitch signed. He was this close to leaving the Knicks. Was he? Was Mitchell Robinson that close to leaving the Knicks, Chris?
I mean, there was I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of drama. There was a lot of social media
Oh, he
posts.
still
It
does that
sounded like
crap.
he wanted out. Yeah, but I mean, at the time, you just didn't know, right?
Yeah.
Um, you didn't know if the Knicks wanted to continue with a big like Mitch or go a different route. So I had some feelings that maybe he wanted out, but I was wrong. I'm happy. I'm also happy though that Mitch is still with us. That guy is a beast when he's healthy.
Yeah, he is. But watching Jalen Brunson and FIBA right now, him and Jaren Jackson have a good chemistry. And
I can't front, man. I was like, Jared
oh no,
Jackson, come
man.
on.
Shooting them
Jared Jackson
threes.
got busy. I
Shooting
was
them
like,
threes.
ooh, we got some Knicks ties there, right?
Hey, Windhorst said that, these, FIBA World Cup and the gold medal, these are where players form relationships with other stars. So just saying, just saying. Mel Bester says he was an unrestricted free agent and then got the 4-year, $60 million contract. Was he unrestricted? I thought they extended him. I think they extended him, Mel Buster,
I
under
don't
his
remember him being unrestricted,
under.
but
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. You could be right. But yeah, glad
yeah,
Mitch is
we'd have
here.
to check that out.
But it's going to be interesting to see if the New York Knicks continue with the Mitchell Robinson route, even if a Joel Embiid is available. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson will be included in such deal. So it's going to be interesting in that aspect. Chris, it's only a matter of time before we get 1 through 5, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, all above like 6'8", right?
Yeah,
Like these.
I hope so.
Yeah, we need it now. That's for sure. That's for damn sure.
Maybe not point guard. I mean, Jalen Brunson, he's here to stay.
For sure. Just Knicks, what up, man? Just chopping it up on this summer night, talking about the New York Knicks. People will probably think we're crazy right now. Football's on, talking about the New York Knicks. But hey, we love the Knicks. We just chopping it up. So we brought up the FIBA. Obviously, Brunson is playing in for the USA with Josh Hart. Josh Hart will probably make his debut on Saturday. And I believe they're playing Luka Doncic this weekend. So should be interesting.
Ooh.
You think Brunson guards Luka?
I think so, man. I think Brunson's gonna go at him. He's gonna remind him, why did they let me go? I could have been playing with you, Luka, but now I'm here. I'm on the Knicks. He's gonna let him know, like, y'all messed up.
Yeah, and for all the Tyrese Halliburton talk, who's starring, Pacer fans? Who's starring for Team USA?
Oh man, let's
Jalen
not
Brunson
talk too
started,
much,
right?
right?
Jalen Brunson started, right?
Obi's over there. He. I know Obi's salivating to play the Knicks.
Oh, for damn sure. Mel Buster says DiVincenzo is really going to help the team with shooting and three-point shooting because with Hart extension, 4-year deal, Mikal Bridges has to be on that radar next offseason with Brunson here too. Mikal Bridges, I believe the New York Knicks want Mikal Bridges, but I do not think the Nets will trade him across the bridge to the New York Knicks. So Mikal Bridges,
No.
I do not think will be a New York Knick. It's cool to envision that team with Bridges and Brunson and all of them. And then you said DiVincenzo was really going to help with the team with 3 points. Yeah, me and Chris, we're just going down the Grimes, DiVincenzo, Hart, and you can honestly make a case quickly for either of those guys to start alongside Jalen Brunson, honestly. And if you want to win, like if you can honestly, like, I don't want to stir the pot, but you can honestly make the case that if you really want to build a chemistry with all of the starters and you can make the case for Hart. If you want to, be lights out in terms of shooting, starting 5 needs shooting, Chris, you can make a case for DiVincenzo. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good problem to have. I mean,
Yeah.
we're trying to get to the specifics and figure out who's going to play where, how many minutes somebody might get, but at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good problem to have. There could be games where we're not shooting well. Let's throw more shooters out there. Maybe we need more size, and you throw the bigs out there. Maybe we gotta go small. Play Josh Hart at the 4.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities, man. I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Can't wait either. So yeah, a lot of possibilities, and Chris and I were going through the possibilities. Chris, I mean, pick a starter, man. Pick a starter. Who do you say you Grimes, right? You say you want like Grimes to
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I like Grimes. I mean, I just think the way he ended his season,
Oh damn,
those
I was
plays
hoping you'd pick
against the
someone different
Heat.
because I wanted to debate you. For the sake of the show, pick someone. No, you pick Grimes. Okay, I'll make the case for someone else. I'll make the case for someone else.
I mean, I could make the case for Quickly. I mean, I've
Okay,
said
go
it
ahead.
here already. I think Quickly is going to be a star, man. I mean, if everything falls in line, he's a special guy. I mean, he's proven he could defend. I mean, again, came from not being a strong defender, just flipped the table, and now he's one of the best defenders out in the perimeter. We know he can shoot it, even though at times he's inconsistent. But if he gets that consistency, watch out, man. He's already learning how to create more, and he's just a demon out there. And I feel like once he takes that next step, I mean, him, Jalen Brunson out there together, that's as good as any combo, in my opinion. Yes, they're on the small side. I get that, but you got two guys that can create, that can score. All right, maybe Jalen Brunson can't defend, but quickly can help on that end.
All right, I'm gonna, for the sake of the segment, I'm going to debate Chris. So this is not how I would feel, but this is how I would debate him. FYI. So Quickly, I don't think should be starting next to Jalen Brunson. He's too small, and you're saying he can be inconsistent at times, but why would I throw an inconsistent shooter in there when I have a DiVincenzo already who shoots 40% from three, or I have a
Ooh.
Grimes who shoots close to 40% from three? Just don't use them. Obviously, two different style of players, and I'm not comparing the two, but he's just, when you have Brunson, that bad of a defender, no, I mean, he's not terrible, but he's not a great defender. And you pair him with Quickly, good defender, but small, as we saw in the playoffs when Kyle Lowry was simply taking him to the basket. And yeah. So I don't
Turning back
think,
the clock.
I think honestly they'll go with Grimes. I want to say they'll go with Grimes for the full season, Chris, but I honestly don't know, man. The right thing to do would be to start a Quentin Grimes for the full season and just let him go through the growing pains. But he has players around him now, man, that are knocking down that starter door. And, knock, knock, open the door, Tom Thibodeau. Yes, you're playing well. I'm going to interest you into the starting lineup. DiVincenzo, a Hart, or your minutes will get decreased. So, uh, I don't know. I guess you say Quickly. I would like to see DiVincenzo start, but then it just brings Grimes in off the bench, and does he fit with Quickly? I kind of like that actually. I kind of like a
Well,
Quickly.
yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. I mean, Grimes used to come off the bench. Grimes used to come off the bench with Quickly, right? And
Yeah,
then at times they would stagger RJ in there too.
yeah.
So we could be seeing that. That's exactly what we could be seeing. And I mean, if I were Tibbs, I would actually do that. Stagger some of these guys so that it's like you got a Quickly, Grimes, RJ. I guess. I mean, who would you throw at the 4 at that point?
I mean, it would have to be. I mean, if Julius Randle's not
Hart.
out there, Josh
Yeah.
Hart. Obviously you would have a Hartenstein locking down that's a center position, and then you would have Mitchell Robinson there. It'll probably be hard to say the least. I mean, I don't think it's going to be an Isaiah Roby. That's for sure.
No, yeah. I mean, do they even start toying with RJ at the 4 a bit? Maybe just to keep Hart at the 3. If they're going to go small ball, and then I mean, just so many options really that they can go. Um, who knows? I'm pretty sure Jalen Brunson's out there talking to Steve Kerr like, "Hey, let me get some of that, some of those plays for the small ball lineups you guys got out there.
Eric Spoelstra's
Don't
there
be
too, man.
surprised, man. Well, Spo's out there too,
Yeah.
So
I saw
You
him
know, he's
talking to
talked
Brunson, and
highly about Brunson.
I was like, come on, man, this guy. Don't be talking to my point guard, man. Don't be putting some poison in him,
Suppose like, hey, so your contract, when is it up?
right? Tampering over there. But yeah, the Knicks have
It's crazy.
options. Knicks really do have options, and you know, we're gonna know the first week, and I do think it's gonna be Grimes. But if you're gonna have Hart and DiVincenzo knocking at the door, don't put it past Tom Thibodeau to make that change. Just saying.
Yeah.
Mel Bester says the Knicks are scary and the league is sleeping on us. We got a ton of draft picks. The next 7 seasons with young, good players on solid contracts, plus 3 Villanova players that won a title in college. Are the New York Knicks being slept on, Chris? Are they a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're being slept on per se. I think the Knicks will finish around the 4th or 5th seed.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely believe we're one of the deepest teams, you know. Sucks that we lost Obi. I felt like it would have been even better with him still on this team. But adding
It's the NBA,
DiVincenzo, you
man.
know, extending Hart. Yeah, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
Adding those guys, I just think that's gonna take us to another level. I mean, it's what we didn't have. Granted, we would like some more length, some more height, yes, but shooting ultimately is what, you know, held us back. If you want to call it being held back, because again, nobody had the Knicks even as a play-in team this past season, and you know we almost made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Which is why I push back on a lot of Knicks fans saying that this team is a mid team and you're paying all these guys these mid contracts. I understand the argument to an extent, like I really do. And I understand Knicks fans want that supermax player in here. But
Yeah.
will there ever be a free agency like the LeBron James free agency or the Kawhi Leonard free agency a few years ago? Because every single superstar is signing these extensions. So
Yeah.
the free agency class has just been B-level stars, you know. These superstars, they're signing extensions, then they're forcing a trade to their favorite destination. And until we see that guy force a trade to Madison Square Garden, it's going to be hard, man. In free agency, it's going to be hard to lure that guy to MSG. Really is.
Yeah, I mean, times have changed. It used to be you want to get to the big market to get the big money, to get the TV deal, all that stuff, you know, the sponsorships, everything.
Yep.
But the way the league has progressed, you know, a team like OKC, a team like San Antonio, teams that are not as good as they once were, you know, all those teams are attractive. Why? I mean, look at Kyle Kuzma. He's over there on the Washington Wizards with like nobody. I mean, not to disrespect, Jordan Poole and whatnot, but I mean, why did he stay? Because the Wizards were able to give him a huge contract. I mean,
Yeah.
all these teams are now able to give any player they want money.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it used to be a distinct advantage to be, you know, the Knicks, to be in New York, to be a team like Dallas, you know. And not to say that it isn't, but it's just not the same, you know, it doesn't have the same weight it once did. So, you know, it's tough to get these stars because a lot of these guys are like, hey, you're gonna give me the max contract? Why should I leave? I'm comfortable here. It's telling me I don't have to win. I just have to try a little bit. you know,
Jeff Teague said that in
it's
his podcast a few weeks ago. He said, "Would you rather a max contract or would you rather to win a championship?" And I forgot who he was interviewing, but then he was like, "Give me the max contract, man. You crazy? Like
yeah, I
put yourself in
mean,
those shoes. Would you rather a max contract or a championship?
exactly.
Like, come on
Hey
now."
man, I was trying to win the Powerball not too long ago, a couple days back, man. I could put it, you know, like that, you know. Do I want to win the Powerball? Do I want to work my 9 to 5? Right?
Hey, there you go. If you want to compare it to a average human, average an American, there you go. There's a comparison right there for you. But Mel Besser also says, also people don't know that the New York Liberty team are really good and they are WNBA final contenders if they win the championship there it will motivate. Yeah, the Liberty are good indeed. They have I think like 2 former MVPs on their team, and they also have Sabrina. So Liberty are good. So will they motivate the Knicks a lot? I don't know if that's a motivation factor. I doubt it, but shout out to the Liberty. They're playing their ass off. They're really good this season. So
I think it'll definitely at the least bring a lot of good vibes to the city for sure.
that's for damn
And I
sure.
guess it's possible, the Knicks could feed off of that,
Yeah,
just the vibes.
yeah, it is possible, but we'll just have to wait and see. So if you're just joining us, we were talking about the Josh Hart contract situation. People are looking at it like this is a crazy contract, it's an overpay. I've been seeing that on Twitter. I've also been seeing people saying that, look, man, it's a fair contract. He deserves it. But what if I were to tell you that it's really a 3-year extension that's worth $58 million? Josh Hart picked up his option this season, and that's about $12.5 million. And then the extension that he signed, the 4-year extension that he signed, the 4th year is a team option. So it's really 3 years, $58 million guaranteed. But when you compile the when you compile the option that he picked up, and then the 4 years extension, that's 5 years. When you compile it all together, it could equate to $94 million. That's why people are seeing that number and they're like, whoa, $94 million. Josh Hart coming in off the bench. I don't think he's worth that much, but guys, it's only 14% of the salary cap. The salary cap is just going up and up and up every single year. So, and we still have Jalen Brunson on a team-friendly deal. After next season, Chris, he's probably going to get that max, man. Brunson's eligible after next season for an extension. But he has to make an all-star team.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Does he? I mean, if Jalen Brunson has
to get more money,
better,
I think. To get more money, I think he does.
I mean, I was gonna say he had the same type of season, but let's be real, he should have been an all-star last season too. So I mean,
yeah, that's for damn sure.
I mean, yeah, I mean Jalen Brunson, he's definitely proven that he's here, and I'm pretty sure. I say 99% he's an all-star.
99
this upcoming season. 99%.
Hey,
you want to put a percentage on it?
I would put. Jalen Brunson to become an all-star. I feel like the league finally caught up during the playoff series, especially against the Miami Heat. I would put 85% that he'll be an all-star. I feel like he'll be. We got to go vote for him too, man. I mean,
yeah,
we got to vote for him,
sure.
Man. Derrick Rose was on the ballot last year.
I was gonna say it can't be Derrick Rose on there again, man.
But he has so many fans across the globe. But we need to come together as fans and vote for this guy to be an all-star team. Because Tyrese Halliburton made it over him, right? Over the reserves or something. Someone got hurt and they picked Halliburton over him. I think that's gonna change next year.
I mean, that was a big thing too. I mean, a lot of people said Jalen Brunson should have got that nod. I mean, we all obviously as Knicks fans, we all felt he should have, but you were hearing it across, worldwide basically too.
Yeah, don't forget he got hurt.
For Jalen Brunson.
He got hurt.
Yeah.
I think All-Star break, he got hurt. And then remember that game, he came out, I think he dropped like 40-something.
I think he dropped 40, yeah.
And then he was like, okay,
he had that point to prove.
You're not going to vote for me to be on the All-Star team? I think it was against the Clippers where he dropped 40-something points. And then after that, he went on a tear. Like the next 5-6 games, he was averaging like 30-plus points. And then Shaq and Charles were like, I can't believe this guy's not an All-Star, And come on, we got to get him in this year. 85% chance that I think he'll be an All-Star. He should be an All-Star over Halliburton, man. 99?
99.
Yeah, I want him to be, man. I for sure want him to be. Any more debates you wanted to touch on for this team, for the New York Knicks?
What do you think? How do you think RJ Barrett looks?
I saw some.
Seeing anything new?
I saw some. I saw some clips, and he's RJ Barrett. I believe he scored 12 points. He got to the line a couple of times, but hey, it's a totally different league that they're playing in. But he's RJ Barrett, man. He's RJ Barrett, Chris. I mean, But I thought he
He's
looked
still
okay.
shooting those. Yeah, I mean, he's shooting those corner threes. Looks like he's shooting them with confidence.
Yeah,
I'm seeing some good things. I saw a clip with him. I don't know if you caught it with Shy
yeah,
having a mid-range 3-point battle.
I
So
saw
that was
that.
interesting. It looked. The shot doesn't look pretty, but it was going in. So let's hope that's you know things to come.
Listen, if you're still trying to fix your jump shot in year 4, I mean, hopefully it works out for him this year. Hopefully it does. Took strides in the playoffs, really took steps forward, and I feel like he could build on that. And I feel like people are sleeping on his playoff performances. I really do. I feel like he can
Yeah,
build off that, but too many stretches last year where he just didn't look right defensively, especially, man.
yeah. He looked slow. He looked. I still can't pinpoint what exactly it was, but he
I think
just
he
did
gained
not
too
look the
much
same.
muscle.
Yeah,
I think he
he
gained too
looks a
much
bit
muscle.
thinner.
He
He looks
does.
he looks a little bit he looks a little bit thinner to me. I could be wrong, but I mean, I don't think he was moving any quicker out there.
Yeah,
But he definitely proved this past playoff series that you know he has the tools, man. He might not be the flashiest. He might not be he's not gonna wow you with the dribble moves or much of anything, but he definitely has the tools to or I should say the strength, I guess, to muscle guys around and finish around the rim. So
yeah,
let's hope he takes the step that we've been wanting him to take the past
yeah.
couple of
I
seasons.
mean, I, from your lips to God's ears, let's hope RJ Barrett takes those steps, man. And I feel like he will, man. He's starting a 4-year extension, so All Star was the goal for me for him last season because I wanted him to become an All Star, but I just feel like I feel like he's not. I could be wrong, man. He's still young, but we'll see. We'll see. Hit Mel Bester in the comment. What do you guys think of the upcoming NBA TV deal? NBC wants the rights again, and you remember NBA on NBC in the '90s, best NBA telecast ever. Yeah, NBA on NBC was. Remember that theme
That'd be
song,
awesome.
Chris?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. That would always get me hyped,
yep.
man. I don't know. I'm about to play right now.
Yeah, so that would be awesome if they can get that squared away. But don't know the true details on that. But Chris, we have some NBA schedule updates that came out today. Who do you think? Did you see it
Ooh,
yet?
I did not.
Who do you? Okay, there's 2 games. Opening night. What we know so far, we just
Knicks.
know 2. We just know 4 Western Conference teams in these 2 games. So
Mm,
take a guess. What do you think the Western Conference teams are in these 2 games?
I'm gonna say the championship Nuggets, right?
Correct.
Um,
That's 1 for 1 so far.
Bucks. No, I'm sorry, Bucks
West.
are not in the West.
West. Lakers Nuggets.
Dallas.
Lakers Nuggets first game. Then this team made some moves this summer. Brought in another superstar/superstar who I wanted the Knicks to dabble with and get. So Western Conference team.
My mind went to Celtics, but Western Conference.
Phoenix.
um, oh my god, I complete. It's so weird to think of Phoenix as like the super team. They didn't even come to my mind.
Yeah. Suns at Golden State. That's all we know so far. And we know the Knicks are playing the
I should have
Celtics.
known that considering CP3 is there now on Golden State, man.
Yeah, Knicks are playing the Celtics on October 9th. They're in a preseason game, so that is 2 months away. So I don't know if that's the first Knick preseason game, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I think the schedule releases in a couple of days, so we can go over that in the next pod and look at the Knicks Western Conference road trips and all the home and away splits and the first 10 games, win loss, win loss, win
That's
loss.
yep.
Play a win loss game and predict the record for you
We're gonna
guys.
find
So
out, predict what they're gonna be, what seed they might fall into.
yeah, that'll be fun. That should be fun. Quick little pod. We are an hour in. We talked about the Josh Hart extension, overpay, underpay. If you're just joining us, hit that subscribe button. If you have been joining us, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up as always. But this has been fun. We're going to get out of here. And, when that schedule releases, we'll be back talking about the New York Knicks, who they play the first couple of games. When is their first Western Conference road trip? We just have to wait and see for the schedule released. I'm excited, man. It just I feel like summer's dragging, but I feel like it's going quick at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. I feel the same way. I mean, obviously there hasn't been much Knicks news, but
Yeah.
I got nothing going on, man. I bleed orange and blue when it comes to the baseball too. So, my team is done.
Yeah.
For those of you out there that don't know, I'm a Mets fan.
Mets.
So, yeah, RIP, man. What an embarrassment, right?
At least you got Acuna, his brother. The wrong one.
I mean, what? I gotta wait two years to see what he's gonna be.
Yeah. Yankees aren't doing so well either, man. So people are looking forward to football and then the Knicks. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to transition to football for a bit, but let's go Giants. Another blue team, right?
Yep.
I cannot wait for the Knicks. I mean, I can't wait for preseason. I can't wait for just any news whatsoever about the Knicks, man. I'm ready for this new season to start.
Likewise, man. Schedule release coming out in a few days. We'll be on here. Don't know when, but possibly after that, talking about the schedule and whatnot. And if Evan Fournier gets traded finally, who knows? But we'll be talking about it as well. If there's a Quickley extension that blossoms here, we'll be on here as well. Appreciate every single one of you from joining. I'm Anthony. That is Chris. Until next time, man, it is always let's go Knicks. I'll catch y'all the next time. Peace.
Peace.